Did you guys know this meeting's being recorded? Holy shit, we do now. Indeed. All right. So welcome everyone to the first episode of Storypath Showcase, I believe is what we're going to call it. And our first arc, we're going to be doing Trinity Continuum Aberrant with these lovely folks. Some of them you have seen before. Some of them are new to the channel. I'm going to go ahead and just have everyone else introduce themselves real quick. And then we'll get into character creation for Trinity Continuum Aberrant. So let's start things off with Chaz.
God damn it.
Yep, you're the first. You're the first one.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Chaz, he, him. I research video games. Like, that's what I like to do. I think it's fun. Usually when I'm researching video games, I'm specifically looking at stories and how music takes part in those stories. So I'm very fortunate in that I get to play Final Fantasy X and then write about it for a job. And then when I'm not doing that, I spend a lot of time DMing. However, I have played in Travis's game for like 3 years now, something like that.
3+ years, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably so 4.
Travis is my forever DM, so I am ecstatic to be here again.
Well, I'm excited to have you. Thank you for being here. Next up, Alex, please give us your pertinence, who you are, what you do, your pronouns, all that fun stuff.
My name's Alex, he, him. I have a normal, everyday, kind of boring day job, but I have been one of Travis's hetero life mates for the better part of 2 decades. And have been subject to many of his game mastering machinations, abuse, and or you could safely say that he cut his teeth on my ass.
It is fair to say. And I would like to just correct you on one small point. As last week we celebrated Sailor's 21st birthday.
Okay, so even friggin' longer.
Yeah.
Okay. And it pleases me to once again put my ass in his mouth.
Careful, you'll get his TOS off the cliff.
In an RPG game.
Next up, Dee, please give us your pertinence.
Hello, I am, well, I'm going to go with Pestomistic, if that's okay, because I Twitch very sporadically, playing FPS video games and of that like, and then by day I'm a video editor, by night I'm a composer and gamer, so that's my whole spiel.
Beautiful. And then last but most certainly not least, we've got Gilbert. Please give us your pertinence.
Hi, I'm Gilbert Ramos. My chair is slowly sinking, so you guys will see me just disappear off camera, I'm sure, at some point.
As long as it's comedically timed, I'm good.
It's just gradual. At Ramos the Nomad on most platforms, I run a game for Onyx Path on Sundays at 11:30. Vampire, the Masquerade 5th edition, sort of highlighting Cults of the Blood Gods. I think, I've been in Chaz's games, I believe I've been in your games, right, Travis? Am I crazy?
I think you might have been in like a Battle Royale or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it was. We played together.
Played together, though.
Yeah.
Like we've been in the same... We played Scarredlands when Chaz was running, right?
Yeah. Monster. But yeah, that's kind of my whole spiel, he, him. I don't know what I do. This happens every time.
You can't talk about it. Gilbert's really in witness protection. We're just not supposed to know.
Gilbert's not my real name.
So the reason for our gather today is to create characters, which we'll be playing in a 3 to 4 session long Trinity Continuum Aberrant campaign. Generally speaking, as with all Storypath games, character creation, you sort of begin by selecting a few paths that are kind of the origin, kind of who your character is up to this point. And in the world of Aberrant, the basic premise is that in 2018, there was an event called End Day, where numerous people around the world started manifesting superpowers. The first person to be publicly observed doing so was a gentleman by the name of Randall Portman, who was a firefighter. When a school bus caught on fire, he absorbed the fire into his body, dispersed the energy safely, saved all the kids, and became quickly a national hero. There's a group known as Project Dystopia, which formed pretty much almost immediately after End Day, and with UN backing, sort of has become the, clearinghouse for information and the project managers for kind of how to integrate these new people called Novas into society. Over the last decade or so, Project Dystopia has created a team of superheroes called Team Tomorrow. They've got operations on every continent. They've done numerous charitable works, reversed like 90% of climate damage. Nova scientists have been able to create all sorts of new microfibers, batteries, power sources, clean fuel. It's kind of the world on a way to a utopia, but there are some darker elements. Shortly after End Day, a man calling himself Divismal issued the Null Manifesto, a claim that no Nova should be subject to any baseline human laws, and that each of them should be treated as a nation on their own. Followers of this manifesto now refer to themselves as Terrats or Terrigen, and while being or identifying with the Terrigen is by no means illegal or anything along those lines, there are some places that do think of the Terrigen effectively as terrorists. I think that's kind of a very good broad brush for the world. We'll get into more specifics through character creation and as the story builds together. So the idea being that one of the first things, because Storypath works well narratively, a lot of the focus on narrative is on your character being based on narrative choices, rich backstory, as opposed to just spending a few points. So since we're all working together, there's a couple things that I would like to address just kind of right out front with character creation. And in general, just the game's tone in general. In terms of like safety tools in play, I just basically generally use an X card. I typically find that's good enough. You can make an X with your hands. You can say X, or you can type X in our Zoom chat, and I will stop the game. We'll figure out what the issue is. We'll figure out a way to excise it from the game. So if there's anything that you find bothersome, content you can't, cope with, something bumps into a trigger, feel free. The other thing is, if I want to check with everyone and see if there are any areas of no-go, things that we will not have on show up thematically in this game, things that squeak you out, things that gross you out. Usually, oftentimes, like sexual assault is the big one that everybody nixes right off the bat. So I like to bring that. That's a no-go. We will not be depicting that. Did you have any, Chaz?
Oh no, that's my big one.
Okay. Did you have any, Alex?
No pet abuse.
No pet abuse. Okay. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right.
Fuck people. I'm just kidding.
Pesto, what you got?
I nothing to contribute. Thank you.
Okay. Gilbert, anything?
No, you got my big one. That's kind of my one rule.
All right, cool. So excellent. Now that we have our rules together, all seem very easy to adhere to. But again, if somebody bumps into something inadvertently or bumps into something you didn't know that you had, feel free to use that X card. So tonally, I would like to lean a little bit into superheroes. I would like you to be a team that may not necessarily all be rocking costumes. Oftentimes, novas who engage in superheroics in the world of Aberrant don't, but sometimes they do. You know, you can, and many of them take their cue from modern comic books. Others take their cues from like luchadores. You can go any direction that you want to with your costumes. And of course, as we get into character creation, you can also find that your appearance can be quite inhuman when you start getting into some of the mutations that you can acquire to get cheaper power. I'm thinking there will be, in terms of at its darkest, I think we'll be leaning into like an invincible sort of place, if that's acceptable to everyone. And I'm happy with running things that are lighter in tone. So, all right. So the first basic thing that you want to find, if you go into the Trinity Continuum core book, you go into character creation, it's chapter 2, I believe it's page 34 of the PDF, and it should also be in the bookmarks on the side. This kind of walks you through the process. Again, I like to build all these together because you're effectively supposed to be a team. So let's make sure that your team works. And an idea that I had that I would like to pitch to you, if you're good with this, as I mentioned earlier, there's a group called Team Tomorrow. Team Tomorrow are your big major heroes. Think of like the Avengers, think of like the Justice League. That's your Team Tomorrow. There is another more secretive team that very few people know about called Team Tonight. Team Tonight are sent in for the missions that Team Tomorrow can't take for whatever reason. May it be political, you know, they have to stay out of the limelight for political reasons. Might be that it's a little bit of dubious legality, so they don't want to go sending people in that are recognizable. Might just be that it's, you know, it's a straight up black op for the superheroes. That's an additional team. Team Tonight recruits widely and gets people who have a willingness to be flexible with the law, but a strong moral center that, you know, that believe in good, in righteousness, and ultimately believe in people, ultimately believe in making a safe place for people. You might even think people are shit, but you believe in keeping them safe. That's the core tenet. A lot of the people that wind up in Team Tonight either wash out of training for Team Tomorrow or for some other reason are unable to get into the team. Maybe they have a scandal breakout, you know, maybe they have an appearance that's so hideous that they can't be seen in public without people freaking out. Maybe they just have a really, really bad attitude. But whatever that reason is, they don't make their way to Team Tomorrow. So I'm thinking, like, for this game, I would like to run not like Team Tonight's main roster, but like the B team of Team Tonight. The Team Tonight team that gets activated when the others are too busy or unavailable. So does that sound...
Like team maybe tomorrow night.
Right. Team Tuesday at about 3-ish. Does that sound fun to y'all?
I dig it. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe that can drive your concepts as well.
Suck a little bit.
Yeah, find something unusual, you know, so like, I guess tonally we're part invincible, part mystery men, you know, or, you know, something along those lines. So yeah, the first thing that you want to sort of focus on is your concept, what the basic idea of what you want to play is. Does anybody have a basic, just core concept of what you'd like your character to be?
I do, but I'm chewing. So
Excellent.
I guess I also kind of have one. If we're doing a team tonight or team tomorrow night, maybe, or team Tuesday at 3 p.m. type thing, I'd like someone who is who is, serious about like saving humanity and all that. But for whatever reason, like his ego will not let him be serious. So he goes around being like, oh yeah, I'm part of team yesterday. Because you can't say you're part of team tonight. Like that's breaking the laws. But you can like make up some like bullshit team. Like, yeah, I'm a superhero. Come give me praise. Why am I not part of team today? That's not the point. Like shower praise upon me because his ego needs it. But he is also super serious about like protecting people when there is a need.
Okay. So he's just at his core, he's driven by a good motive.
Yeah, that center is there, but we're all people, even Novas, and we're not perfect.
Excellent. I love it. I dig that concept quite a bit. How about you, Pesto? You got anything?
I guess a very vague outline. I was thinking of somebody that's like incredibly naive that, wants to help people, but to the point where like she's so naive about it, like even for like towards the bad guys, like she always gives everybody the benefit of the doubt type of thing.
I love it.
To the point where she kind of becomes like a catastrophe magnet in that kind of way as well. So
I love it.
That's my kind of thought.
I think that's beautiful. Gilbert, what do you got?
So I skimmed through the books and whatnot, and I'm a sucker for a Jason Todd-esque hero, that anti-hero that's kind of like, all right, I'll follow your rules, but ultimately thinks humans are kind of trash.
Okay. All right. So like a darker Jason Toddy. Like what would have, like, were you beat to death and then abandoned by your adoptive father, or like what was
oh man, it's a replay of my therapy.
His name's the Crowbar. That's
the Crowbar. I haven't decided yet. I don't want to be a complete hack.
I don't want to be an absolute clone of Jason Todd.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll think of something.
All right, cool. And then Alex, what you got?
I want to play a character who has a really hard time finding an actual niche. He's basically very adept at playing kind of like a bolstering or supporting role, but he doesn't actually have any powers that are useful to himself. He also kind of suffers from the same imposter syndrome in his real life, because he comes from like a mixed family. His name is Diego Douglas. So he gets mocked horribly. So he adopts the moniker The Accessory. And that's just kind of his role, his shtick. So most of his abilities and kind of power set are complementary, but on his own, he's kind of a pud.
I love it. Beautiful. So now that we've got our basic concepts together, and I think that will make for a fun team, I look forward to seeing kind of what we go with, for powers for these types, but we're not quite there yet. You each will need to select aspirations. You need 2 short-term aspirations and 1 long-term aspiration. An aspiration is something you would like to complete, a goal. Your short terms can be very simple, and they need to be something that you could reasonably expect to accomplish within 1 game session. So they can be anything from try a new power that I've never tried before, to kiss the girl I'm really interested in, to I believe I used pity the fool. I want to pity the fool at one point in a Trinity game. And so when I got to use that line on someone, I fulfilled my short-term aspiration. So it can be anything from like a quip all the way down to, like a specific action.
2 short and 1 long?
2 short and 1 long. A long-term aspiration should be something that takes a couple sessions to get done. Something that drives your character's story. It's the big thing. It's the big problem in your life right now. It might not be like the overall problem in your life, but it's the big problem in your life right now, or the big goal in your life right now. Maybe it's the big thing you're celebrating right now, like make it through my wedding. That's an aspiration, a long-term aspiration, see be at the hospital when my nephew was born. That's like a long-term aspiration. Shit like that. So, any questions about aspirations?
Are we sharing them now? Are we trying to figure that out right now?
Yeah, if you have them figured out now and can share them, that'd be great. It's also good to work together on them so that you can complement one another with your aspirations. But
my first one is going to be validated by a team member.
Oh, sweet.
I already just feel like shit.
Wholesome. It's so wholesome.
So for my short term, I could say validated team member. Essentially.
I mean, you could, yeah.
I mean, I have a short term that's already used some kind of team attack. That could be validating.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So you said one of yours is use a team attack?
Yeah. I don't know what that looks like in this game, but I'm sure we could figure something out.
Oh, sure. For sure. So
I think it looks like you tell someone to do something at the same time that you're doing it, and then it's a team attack.
Yeah, any type of cooperation, really. But Gilbert, do you have any ideas for short term?
For short term, I think follow the rules of the mission. Like, don't stray from the plan.
All right. Make it through the mission without breaking the plan. All right.
Yeah.
And how about you, Besta?
I want to eat some darn good chocolate.
Eat some darn good chocolate. All right.
I don't know. I feel like my character's on a diet, and that's something she needs.
Very good. Do we have a second short term from anyone?
I'm thinking.
Convince someone team yesterday exists.
Okay.
Oh,
Live the lie.
that's a great one.
Gilbert, ideas for a second?
Nothing yet. Mulling things over.
While you're thinking those out, did anyone have their long term or no?
Become stronger to protect non-novas. I'm assuming at one point his ego got in the way of something. And so now that's where that like core comes from. Like, must be stronger, must protect.
Okay.
Perhaps I'm like leaning too much at that martyrdom again. I got to work on that.
Maybe you failed something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, everybody else's stuff is so embedded in the story. I'm just like, I kind of want to have flowers and keep them alive.
I mean, that's a perfectly good short-term aspiration.
I want to get away with breaking a law.
Oh, great. Oh, that's awesome.
Right.
I mean, that's the accessory.
Is that a short term?
That's a short term, yeah.
Right.
I'm assuming we're going to break some laws. It could happen.
So did you want to have keep flowers alive?
Oh, yeah, I'm totally down for that. Yeah.
All right, for your short term. And what about for a long term?
Long term. Oh, goodness. Sorry, may I mull that over just a little bit longer?
Yeah, by all means. Gilbert, you got anything?
So adopt a dog is going to be a short term,
Okay.
just for coping.
All right. And still working on long term?
Yeah, still working on one.
We can always circle back to those too. If you want to, we can move ahead to paths. They might help illuminate some of these aspirations too. Character creation is sort of presented in a linear fashion, but doesn't necessarily need to be, step by step. So with paths, in Trinity Continuum, you have 3 paths that represent who your character are. And those paths give you access to certain traits based on who you are. The first path is the origin path, which is kind of what your childhood was, or like what your early life was, I guess I should say. The second path is the role path. What role do you fit in the team? And the third path is the society path. And that one, we will basically all be using the Project Utopia society path from Aberrant. So that'll make one less decision we have to make, right? So for roles, if you go down to origins first, page 41 on the Trinity Continuum PDF. There's a list of origin paths. You'll see the adventurer, who is kind of always a thrill seeker type. Life of privilege, you grew up, privileged or rich. Military brat, you kind of bounced all over the place. Street rat, you kind of grew up, on the streets, maybe poor, maybe underprivileged. Suburbia, you grew up in kind of a normal suburban Western upbringing. And survivalist, which is, kind of more of a rugged, always have an escape plan type of thing. There are also a couple of new paths, but they're all role paths in the Aberrant.
I'm having a really hard time with this long-term aspirations stuff.
Yeah, so here.
Well, maybe picking your paths first will help. As you're thinking about kind of who you are.
Definitely suburbia.
Suburbia? Right? So if you'll note in there, you have a couple of things that are listed under suburbia. Example connections, you get 1 dot in each path that you take. So your role path or your origin path should be suburbia 1 over on your character sheet.
Gotcha.
And then
Cool.
you'll note you have example connections. For each dot you have in a path, you get a connection for that path. So you can come up with a character that would be someone from that time of your life, right? The examples listed are a favorite professor, a neighbor, friend, influential teacher, but kind of anybody that you would reasonably meet in a suburban setting can be an example connection. But you can go ahead and write that on the line next to, I believe if the sheet looks the way I think it looks, should be a line next to that where it has your paths. Yeah, path contacts is where you'd write them down. And so and then you get 3 points to spend in the skills that are listed among your role.
Okay.
Or among the path, I'm sorry. So for suburbia, it's culture, empathy, humanities, technology. You have 3 points to spend among those 4. Don't worry, you'll get more points later.
Okay.
And you can spend 2 points in the edges. We'll come back. We'll sweep back through for edges, but you might want to just make a note of what the page number is so you can get to this easily when we get to buying edges.
Okay.
Make sense?
I'm going to say yeah. But
Excellent.
don't need it.
If you have questions, feel free to stop me, interrupt me. If I wasn't clear about something, let me know. Did you select a origin path, Alex?
Yeah, I'm going with survivalist. Yeah, I'm going with survivalist.
And do you have your connection sorted out?
So it's probably going to be either, and it depends on how old we are. But the idea is he either is or was a med student for some time, but scholarship student, his family wasn't necessarily well-to-do. So it's probably whatever doctor he was working under to do his residency, or whoever was kind of helping him figure out what direction he wanted to go. So if it was someone who, maybe owned a clinic that he worked at when he was younger, that kind of led him to, want to get further into medicine.
Okay.
So whoever that doctor is.
All right. And you can be whatever age you want.
Okay.
Realistically.
So when I pick up path, that goes under path contacts, right?
Yep. That is correct.
Right. Dr. Howard.
And what edges did you take? Did you take those?
I haven't taken any edges yet.
All right, beautiful. And what path did you select, Chaz?
Was looking at a survivalist, but we don't need 2 of those.
Honestly, there's nothing wrong with doubling up on origin paths. There's a very small selection of them.
Sure.
So.
Okay, yeah. I'll go survivalist then.
Well, I mean, can't you can hybridize them, can't you? if you.
I mean, you
want to.
can just straight build new paths from the
Yeah.
ground up if you want to, but I don't know if anybody wants to mess with all that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you no. But yeah, you can.
I'm just saying, like, if there were edges that Chaz wanted from like other paths that like useful,
If it fit the
you know.
Well, we'll see what's up. You're also about to all get a whole bunch of Nova points, so. that'll
You
make
said the
life-
path contacts start at 1?
Yeah, you just get one. You just get one dot. Again, when we do the Nova template, you'll get a bunch of points. Some of those you can spend on paths if you want to. How about you, Gilbert? You had an origin path sorted out?
I was originally also looking at that list.
We're survivors.
I will be taking military bread.
Okay. That works too. Beautiful. And so next up is your role path. What role do you play in the group? You've got charismatic leader, which is exactly what it sounds like. Combat specialist, which is any sort of like fighting, really. It could be, hand-to-hand combat. It could be firearms. Could be, really good with your powers. Detective is, again, kind of what it sounds like. You're the person who's solving mysteries and finding clues. Medical practitioner, not a bad thing to have on a superhero team. Pilot, also not a bad thing to have. Somebody who's in charge of getting places. The sneak, which is, kind of like your rogue, your thief type, or the technology expert. There are a couple of additional role paths offered in Aberrant, which are athlete, which if you come from like a sporting background, celebrity, like you've spent time in the limelight. A lot of Novas are celebrities. A lot of people use their superpowers for fame. There's a whole subset of musical performers called Novo artists who use their powers in their performances. That's what makes Novo. The consultant path, which is your mercenary who works as a professional consultant or high-paid specialist, oftentimes something based with your powers. Or corporate. You have just hitched your wagon to a corporate entity of some sort, and that is your identity. Do any of those sound interesting, Pesto?
I'm kind of leaning towards athlete, oddly enough. That sounds like a very suburban thing to do.
It does. So with the athlete path, that is located on page 99 of Aberrant. And you'll see the example connections. Skills, same as the other ones. The only difference with this one is you're required to take at least one of those 3 dots in athletics.
Okay.
How about you, Alex? Got a role path in mind?
Yeah, I'm taking medical practitioner. Just kind of makes sense.
Right. Absolutely.
There's a lot of overlap with survivalist, but I don't care. It's fine.
Well, that's fine. You can double them up. And again, you only get 3 points in skills from each of those and 2 points of edges. So, I mean, doubling up's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I was going to ask so if I want to get edges, right? If I want to pick up one of these edges, how does that work?
The edges are listed in the book.
Uh-huh.
So you get 2 points in edges for each of your paths.
Okay.
Okay. And they have to be bought from your path edges.
And
there are additional
per path?
You get 2 points in edges per path.
Total.
Yes.
So if I pick up an edge, I can put 1 point in it, or I can either put 2 points in, or I can get 2 edges at 1?
Right.
Okay.
You can also build toward, so like if you have 2 paths, if there's an edge that's a level 4 edge and it appears in 2 of your paths, you can spend those points and get that edge.
Interesting. So let's probably look at what these edges do.
For each path, it's 3 points in skills and 2 points in edges, yes?
I believe that is accurate. Yeah, let me triple check that so I'm not talking out of my butt. You were going to ask a question, Chaz?
Oh, no, I'm just raising my hand for no reason, honestly.
Okay. Yep. So you get yep, 2 dots in edges, 3 dots in skills per path. And I'm sorry, Chaz, did you say you had a roll path in mind?
Depending on how Gilbert is going, I might go combat specialist.
Yeah. We need a gun bunny. Let's do it.
What did you have in mind, Gilbert?
I was going to do the sneak.
Oh, there we go.
Excellent.
So we're golden.
All right. So feel free to write down your edges, skills, all that, connections from there. And then the last for ease and because it makes sense, you're all going to take the Project Utopia Society path. And that's found on page 126 of Aberrant. Your team connection for this path should be Andre Corbin.
You said Project Utopia?
Yes.
Can you spell Corman for me, please?
That's Corbin.
Bunch of sellouts we are.
And you would have the Team Tomorrow skills that are listed there.
Is that in the Aberrant book?
Aberrant, page 126. And you had some questions about some edges.
I mean, it's just so we get 2 points for origin, 2 points for roll, and then for society, what happens?
2 points.
Okay.
And the edges start on page 57 of the Trinity Continuum core book.
Somehow I immediately flipped to like the Terrigen page. Oops.
It's your past coming back to haunt you.
My bad.
All the edges that you get from your rolls or from your paths. I gotta stop getting those two backwards. All the edges you get from your paths are in the Trinity Continuum core book. There are some additional edges that are offered in Aberrant that you'll be able to get with the extra points that you get.
Okay, for some reason I can't find Project Utopia.
In the roles or the societies?
Yeah.
It's on page 126 of the Aberrant book.
Ah, okay.
Any questions so far?
Not for me. Oh, that works out. Okay.
So at this point, you should all have 9 dots in your skills. You should all have 3 dots in your path contacts, and you should all have 6 dots to spend in edges, right?
I haven't bought any skills yet, but
Yeah, I haven't either.
All right.
how many skills do we get?
3 dots per roll, or per path, rather.
Gotcha.
So 3 dots for your origin, 3 dots for your roll, 3 dots for your society. Did you have a question, Gilbert?
For Project Utopia, it lists for under skills, says choose 4 appropriate for your division of Project Utopia. Then it gives some the examples for Team Tomorrow. Is there any specific skills we're choosing from for Team tonight?
No, but it's going to be the same as the Team Tomorrow skills.
Copy that.
It's the superhero package.
How high can my skills go?
To 5, unless you have something that tells you otherwise.
Well, that's what I mean. So, okay, cool. Well, that makes, sure, let's do it. Why not? And then there's skills for society as well, right?
Yes.
What the hell's integrity? And that's not a
Integrity
rhetorical question.
Integrity is resisting coercion. Integrity
Alright, cool.
is sticking to your guns. Integrity is also useful with perception.
Okay, so that's something that would work well with like Iron Will, right?
Yeah, I believe it's a prerequisite of it.
Oh, I didn't even look for those. I guess let me revisit these edges.
Is everything making sense so far? Does anybody have any questions?
Oh, it doesn't actually say anything in Iron Will for,
It might not be. Yeah, it might not.
okay.
Where do the edges start in the
Page 52, I believe, of the core book.
57.
57. Oh.
Yeah.
You doing all right over there, Chaz?
Yeah. Just picking my edges, but should be good to go pretty soon.
So far, this is coming together pretty well. I am so useless to myself. I still haven't figured out a long-term aspiration, though.
That's all right. We still have a lot to cover. All right.
Oh,
I hope one of y'all can fight.
oh gosh.
Once you've spent your skill points for your paths, you get 6 additional dots to put anywhere you want in the skills. Another thing that you might want to keep in mind when you're buying your skills is the way the system functions is you tell me you want to do a thing. I tell you what skill is required to roll that thing. If you don't have that skill, you'll just be using an attribute. You decide which attribute you're using. So I tell you what skill needs to be used. You tell me how you're applying that skill. Make sense?
Humanities is amazing. You said that how many we get 6 skills that we can just take?
6 points in skills, yes.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
It's so useless. It's so awesome.
Humanities?
Oh yeah.
Well, it might come in handy if you're,
Playing
Trying
Jeopardy.
sure, or, trying to answer trivia about, say novas who have Instagram followings.
Sure. No, I.
And then if you have any skills that are 3 or higher, Well, no, you get to pick one of your skills that are 3 or higher and choose a skill trick for it.
You said 3 or higher?
Yep. So you start with one skill trick and then you can gain more.
Okay, so I have a question about medical advantage.
Yes.
It technically says that you get a bonus to your close combat roll, but if you share that information, you just give it to somebody else. Like, kick Wolfman in the nards. Like, is that something that you can do?
Normally that would start falling into the realm of gifts, because here's the thing, like you might know that if you stab someone in a certain,
Oh, I understand what you mean.
like, like a nerve.
Yeah.
Like, but
Knowing specifically where it is. And
right.
I got you. It's not as simple as kick Wolfman in the nards.
Right. It's a little more refined than that. Is anyone having any difficulty finding anything? Is everything making sense in its layouts and whatnot?
I just confused myself with everything.
What do you need assistance with?
That's a good question. I don't even know what question to ask. There, sorry.
Well, no, you're good. So you got, have you spent the skills that were associated with your paths?
There was 3 that I got to spend, right? Or 2?
Yep. It's
okay.
three dots for each path.
Then I think I did.
All right, so you have 9. So you have 9 skill dots, and then did you spend the other 6 points?
Let me count. Oh God, there's math involved now.
There's some counting involved. It's true.
I've got 9 total in my skills right now.
Excellent. So you have 6. So you have 6 points to spend.
Oh gosh.
Wherever you want.
I get to count more. Sweet.
All right, I have a question for the table. Would you all rather I'm able to immediately diagnose an issue, immediately provide first aid, or if someone is real jacked up, I can temporarily unmaim them? Which ones do y'all want?
How temporary is temporary?
So it's called Walking Wounded. Sometimes the world won't wait around while you're injured. The character with this skill trick can apply temporary dressings or care to patch up a wound and allow an injured character to keep going. You can treat a character with an injury, spending 1 momentum for bruised or injured complications, blah, blah, blah. For being treated with this skill trick, a character may take actions without any penalty from that injury for 1 scene. So it basically spares you for 1 scene, kind of regardless of how messed up you are. I mean, that's kind of useful. I don't know how jacked up we're going to get. But like, if someone breaks a spine, I can technically put them together for a scene.
I've played with Gilbert for a lot of time. That'll be helpful.
I'm going to end up in a cast, a full body.
Somehow. We'll be like petting dogs, and all of a sudden, like Gilbert will be like, "Oh no, I broke a hand. How? I don't know."
Basically.
So you're saying y'all want Walking Wounded? Is that the one? Okay. Done. Hopefully I don't have to use it on myself.
All right. Does anybody have skill points left to spend?
Still trying to figure out the skill trick.
How many skills do you have above 3?
I have 1 at 3.
Which,
above 3 or
3 or above. So
Gotcha.
which one is it?
close combat?
Oh, so you're just having a hard time picking which one you want?
I don't know where the skill tricks are.
They're
They're under the skill descriptions.
Oh, it's literally right there. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
I'm a big fan of Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch is nice. Deadly Strike is pretty good too.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. Like even fast
Yeah.
planning is useful.
I got me some deadly strikes.
I just think Sucker Punch is funky.
So you took Deadly Strike, Chaz?
Yeah.
Right.
And how about you, Chaz? Did you pick your skill trick?
Deadly Strike.
Oh, did you? All right.
Was it got murderous intent?
And then, Pesto, you got, do you have any skills at 3 or above?
I think technology is one of them.
Technology? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go to the technology skill on page, looks like 53.
Oh, I see.
A list of skill tricks. The bolded items are each a skill trick. You can pick one of those.
Oh, that's so cool. I just want this just because of the name. It's not a bug, it's a feature. No, that's even better. I want to break stuff. That's to an engineer's eye.
Okay.
Where am I copying and pasting this to?
Oh, that could be really, just, there should be a place that says skill tricks.
What?
Finish sheet.
There it goes.
/ skill tricks. Yep.
Sweet, thank you.
All right. So we've got skills largely out the way.
So in addition to my doctor contact that I took for my role path, for my origin path, I decided to take because I have the patron edge as well.
Okay.
So I took a patron. I don't know if you have anyone in the world that you want to use or whether you want me to make someone up for you, but it sounds like the person should be relevant in the world. So I'm not really sure who's relevant given where we are.
You could have like a patron relationship with your team leader and or maybe even with, so maybe Sophia Rousseau likes you, who's like the head of Team Tonight.
Okay.
That's possible. Or it could be somebody that's not connected.
I mean, it should definitely be someone who's involved in the, so I took it as part of the society path. So it's Project Utopia related specifically.
Yeah, so it would almost guaranteed be either Andre or Sophia.
Which one would be more inclined to take pity on somebody that's relatively useless?
No, that would probably be Andre, but Sophia might very well see you as very useful, just in the context that you don't see.
Gotcha. Sophia, what's her name? Sophia what?
Rousseau.
All right. So I took her as my path contact then.
Okay.
That makes it easier, right? I don't have to like split the patron contacts.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Totally makes it easy.
And I still have Dr. Howard as my doctor contact.
Love it. You can also pick a specialty for any skill, for all of your skills that are 3 or above. A specialty is a narrowly focused expertise you have within that skill's purview, and it can be kind of anything that fits within that skill. The way specialties work in Storypath is they assist with complementary roles. So for example, if you had a pistols specialty in aim, if you had to make a humanities check to identify what kind of pistol somebody was depicted as holding in a picture, you would get a +1 because of your pistol specialty. Make sense? Excellent.
Would you consider kind of an encyclopedic, like what would you consider like an encyclopedic understanding of kind of like the Nova ability set as it's known? I
mean, that would fall under medicine, noetic, or not noetics.
Well, I'm talking about like for what about humanities?
Oh, so probably like for a specialty?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find something that would be
probably known novas or famous novas.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, all right. Nova trivia.
Yeah.
Because that was what I was going to take as my medical specialty was like whatever you would call non-baseline.
Like Nova physiology?
Yeah.
Quantum physiology?
Whatever it's called.
Bless you.
What is it called?
Quantum physiology, probably.
Oh, thank you. Did you hear me sneeze?
No,
Oh, thank gosh.
no, but I saw you. Were you able to find specialties, Chaz?
Yep, think so. Got stuck on this style edge.
Are you taking a close combat edge?
Yeah.
How about you, Gilbert? Everything going smooth up there?
Having some difficulties locating specialties.
Oh, they're described on page 45, so you just
kind of make them
pick
up.
them.
Gotcha, understood. And I'm assuming I'm relating this kind of to vampires, something narrow enough to where you can use it, but not so narrow that it is just such a one situation type deal.
I mean,
Broad, but not broad.
you certainly can take a very, very, very specific specialty if you want. It just means you are very unlikely to ever use it.
Raj.
All right. And then who still was working on edges?
Right here.
Okay. Did you get the skills buttoned up, or are you still working on that?
I think I got those buttoned up.
All right. Excellent. So for edges, you should have the lists that were in each of your paths. The edges start on page 57 of the core book.
Okay.
And you just have to pay them. If the edge just has like a value that's greater than 1, the edge can only be bought at that level. But if it has like a 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, you can buy it at any of those, any level in between. Make sense?
Yeah.
So could I take like cool under pressure for integrity?
As your specialty?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that like it's like a resolve thing, right?
Yes, but again, like, so that would come into play, for example, if you were making a persuasion roll.
Oh, okay.
You would be able to draw on that specialty.
Oh, so I could take this for like patient confidentiality.
Right. They're complementary.
Got you. Okay. I understand. So integrity is that's like a resistance skill.
Kind of, yeah.
Cool.
But it's also used for perception.
So yeah, I will, I'm just going to take it for confidentiality. So you can keep freaking secrets. Lock it down.
Excellent. Any other specialties that you have, Alex?
I took Nova Trivia, Quantum Physiology, and Confidentiality.
Excellent. Jeff?
Oh.
I got fear for empathy. I'm like working on the close combat one.
Fear was your empathy one?
Yeah, I understand fear in people.
I like that.
You sure you're not making Batman? Like,
I will rework my character. I will be your Robin, Chad. So
I mean, if this is that game, I'm ready. I think
I come into this like, gee willikers.
I will change my name to Dr. Zayas right now. Character's already made. Let's go.
all right, Gilbert, what do you got for specialties?
We're allowed one specialty, yes?
One for every dot above 3 that you have in skills.
Copy that. Then I don't know. Because the only one I have that's at 3 dots is close combat.
Okay, so there's none are that high.
Yeah, I spread my dots out.
All right, cool. So yeah, just pick a close combat specialty and you're good to go.
I have a long-term aspiration.
What's your long-term aspiration?
So he wants to help a Nova alleviate the negative effects or the perceived negative effects of a mutation that they have. He wants to help them find ways to treat it.
Okay, I love it.
What are they called again? I know they used to be called like taint or something like that.
Well, taint used to be what you would get. Yes. They were called aberrations. Now they're called transformations.
And they're not always pleasant, right?
No, often they're not. What Alex is referring to for those of you watching at home is Aberrant First Edition had a system called Taint. We're not just being gross. And
kind of.
I mean, I imagine that might have been part of why it was changed. And then, I'll have to ask Ian in the next time there's a Q&A, somebody ask Ian why they changed it from Taint. Don't do that. It's mean. But they're transformations is what they're called.
Okay. See, I have alleviate a nova's transformation side effects as a long-term goal.
Cool. And Pesto, how many skills at 3 or above do you have?
I've got 2, and I chose the specialties for them. So the 2 that I have above are stupidly technology and culture.
Love it.
The specialties that I've chosen is Engineer's Eve, and Grain of Truth.
Okay, so this is a point of confusion a little bit, I think.
Woo!
So the skill tricks are the ones that are listed underneath.
Oh yeah, I thought. Maybe I was reading. Okay,
specialties are just something that you are good at within that purview.
Okay.
So, because I think one of those were both skill tricks that you read to me.
Yes.
So you would pick one of those 2 to keep, one of them to get rid of, and
perfect.
then you would select a specialty for each of those as well.
Okay.
And so a specialty for technology might be like quantum tech, which is stuff that's based on Nova technology, or it could be like, you could have like video equipment would be a specialty, for example. Broadcast equipment would be a specialty. Computers, if your actual computer hardware would be a technology specialty.
Okay.
Things like that.
Sweet. Well, I'll keep Engineer's Edge, Eve, whatever thing. At least that part I know. I think I have an edge picked down so far. At least one.
Right. And if you want to give any questions about the edges, anyone.
Engineer's Eye likes you break stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What edges did you wind up taking then, Gilbert?
Edges that I took, thank you. Danger Sense at 1, Iron Will at 1, and then free running and small unit tactics both at 2.
Okay. How about you, Chess?
Iron Will at 1, Swift at 1, and then Deadly Strike and Powerful Style, which cost 2, and small unit tactics, which is also 2.
Nice. And Alex, you got what?
I have Hardy at 2, Iron Will 2, Patron 2.
Nice. Okay.
Hey.
So while you're all going through, Pesto's finishing up the edges, I'll get the rest of you going on attributes. So you'll see on your sheet, you have 3 rows across and 3 boxes. The rows across are approaches, the boxes are arenas. Make sense? You can spend where are we at here? Sorry. I skipped way to the wrong spot. All right. So you have 6 dots to spend in your primary arena. So whichever one of those looks most important to you. You have 3 dots to spend in your secondary arena. And you have 2 dots to spend in your tertiary arena.
Are we in the Aberrant book now?
No.
Okay.
You said the boxes were arenas, yes?
Yeah, the boxes on the sheets are arenas. The lines across are approaches. Copy.
So are we choosing arenas or approaches?
You choose arenas.
Okay.
And then you pick a favorite approach. And the approaches are pretty much what they sound like. Any questions on spending those points? Or on what any of the attributes do? You all look very intent.
And we're avoiding the like megas, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, you don't put anything in megas yet.
No.
Oh, I see.
Okay, and it's 632, is that what you said? Or 532?
It is 632.
Okay.
What's everyone leaning toward for the primary? So we round ourselves out, if you don't mind me asking.
I'm going primary mental, secondary physical, third social.
I'm going back and forth. I think I'm going to be dumb again. But going back and forth between physical and social for primary.
Right on.
Do you need something, Pesto?
Oh no, I'm just staring at. I'm in awe of everybody else's wisdom.
Were you able to find your all the edges, or are you still working on those?
I think so. Wealth and library, they're those things.
Yeah.
Perfect. I got 2 and 2. Okay.
All right, and then you should have 2 more points to spend from your Project Utopia path.
Oh Jesus. I feel like there's going to be a lot of awful behind the scenes stuff between me and you, Travis.
I'll be fine.
Just going to throw stuff at you and be like,
Throw stuff. Throw away. That's what I do.
Sweet.
Did you get your attributes sorted out then, Gilbert?
I believe so. I think I'm going to go primary physical, secondary mental, and then third social.
Love it.
Tertiary social.
All right. Now you pick a favorite approach. So the lines across, the finesse, resistance, what is it? Finesse, force, and resistance. You pick which one of those is most pertinent. It's your favorite approach. And you add 1 dot to each attribute in that approach. If that takes it over 5, you have to move it to something else because you can't start with more than 5 dots in something.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So far, I am definitely liking the character creation more than first edition by far.
Yeah, it's much cooler.
By a mile.
It's much cooler. It's much more story driven for one thing, but it's also just like everything slots together real easy. Like it's taking us a while because it's new, right? But like, and that's also why the 2 veteran Storypath players are, moving a little faster than everybody else. But once you get it down, it goes pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's
right.
cool to have no dots in an attribute, correct?
I mean, you have the one basic dot that everybody gets.
Yeah. Oh, that changes things.
You should have a filled in dot, right?
I got more ones than you need.
Yeah, there was 1 dot in each whenever I loaded up the character sheet. I just didn't know if that was counting toward the.
Oh no, it does not. That the free dot does not count.
Right on. Let me fix myself then.
And did you need those numbers for attributes? That's all or no?
Oh, I have them written down. So there's 6 to spend in primary, 3 dots in secondary, 2 dots in.
And the third one, yep.
That thingy-majig.
Yep, and then you pick your favorite approach and add 1 to everything in it.
Oh,
so that brings us to our Nova template.
Yay! It's time
to
So a couple things to note. You gain 1 quantum trait, so fill in 1 dot of quantum if it's not already filled in on your sheet. You are Nova tier. I don't know if there's any way to note that on your sheet, but that means that your target number, anytime you roll dice, you're looking for 7s or above. You can add 1 dot to 1 attribute of your favorite approach.
You just add it?
Yep. You can choose either the fame edge or the alternate identity edge. You get 1 dot. It's up to you which one you pick.
But you have to have 1 of them?
Yep, you have to have 1 of the 2. And this is where you might want to start a scratch piece of paper or a calculator program, because you each get 150 points to spend.
Oh my gosh.
And they spend on a chart that is listed on page 89 of Aberrant. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you, let's say you want to raise skills or raise some edges, before you go doing that, when you raise your path rating, you get everything that's associated with that new path rating. So when your path rating goes up, you get 3 dots in skills, 2 dots in edges, and another dot in your path contact.
Wait, but my paths don't have dots.
Your paths don't, but if you don't have your path contacts,
yeah,
that's what you're raising the path rating.
Oh, okay. So they're all at 1, right?
Yep.
So if I raise one of those to 2, the stuff that comes with it goes up?
Yes.
Okay. And the points, is it by this experience point thing here?
Yeah, by the Nova experience table on page 89.
Okay. So when it says experience, it means like these points that we're spending.
Yep.
Oof.
Oh boy.
Now, if any of you wants to save some time, grab something that's a little pre-built, there are some templates in the back that we can apply to your character.
Oh, cool.
Feel free to look through. Those start on page 286. And these cover some just very basic superhero concepts. Any of these would be fine. They're all good. But you certainly don't need to use them.
So cool.
Another thing to keep in mind, and this is where the, do you maybe have something that's physically wrong with you that is why you're not, on team tomorrow because you're hideous or because you're somehow otherwise have a disturbing or damaging mutation. You can choose to take additional transformation for your Nova to reduce the cost of any Nova trait, including quantum. So if you're buying powers or if you're buying quantum, if you're buying mega attributes or mega attributes or mega edges, you can take transformations to reduce the experience cost. Your total transformations cannot be more than twice your quantum rating. Any questions on how that works?
So when it says, oh, wait, never mind. So quantum minimum is like what my minimum quantum trait has to be to buy that power if I want that power, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then the quantum cost is like
how many quantum points it costs to use the power.
And it's like energy, kind of like my quintessence or what have you.
Yeah, you have a pool of quantum points.
Okay.
Based on your quantum. And there's a table on page 180 that tells how many quantum points you get per quantum trait.
I'm really glad I looked through these earlier.
Oh, man. I did too, but man, all that intelligence is going to leak down my orifices.
Oh, no.
At least I could use this as an excuse, because if I was fine right now, excuse.
It's cool though, because it's giving you like a Kathleen Turner vibe when you talk.
Oh, thank you very much.
Give us your best Jessica Rabbit.
I'm not bad. I'm drunk that way.
That's pretty good.
That was, oh boy. That was so monotone.
Like bored Jessica Rabbit. It's like,
I get asked that question all the time. Well, I'm definitely going for a pre-created thing right now. I just love the way that the elemental is drawn, by the way. That's really cool looking.
Yeah, the art's dope in here.
Yeah.
Do one of these leap out at you more than the others?
Like, there's a part of me that's like, I kind of dig the genius one, but man, I would totally not live up to that title at all.
Well, fortunately, your character gets to be smarter than the player, so.
True that.
Oh, that's funny. I don't know. Yeah, it's either between that or a tank, because I feel like she's such a klutz that she, at some point, like, be smart about it and feel like that she needs to, like, toughen up exterior-wise. But like, you'd have to be like a tank in order to fall in your face so many times.
I mean, that's workable too.
But I'll get back to you in 2 seconds. Let me actually read what take is before I commit.
Any ideas you want to look at packages, Chaz, or do you have like a powers?
I think I have a way to make an idea. Still trying to be sure I'm like understanding things so I don't just end up with like all the powers on accident.
What are you looking at?
So I'm going with a gravity theme because I don't know. I saw some like dark matter shit in the news recently. I was like, I used to like that. And I know there is some like a mega crush, which I can get if I have mega strength.
Mega might.
Mega might, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think there are ways to do that. I'm just trying to see like, how do I get the powers? What does that mean? How many points do I need to get the mega might and the mega crush?
Gotcha. Okay. So you have to have a quantum rating equal to or greater than the desired mega attribute rating, as well as a number of dots in the normal attribute equal to or greater than the desired mega attribute rating.
Right.
So yeah, you can, with a quantum of 1, you can have mega attributes at 1.
Okay.
A quantum of 2, as long as the attribute's 2, you can have it up to 2. So on and so forth.
We want pesto or Deanne? What do you want me to call it?
Pesto would be great, thank you.
Right, sure.
No worries.
No, you're good. You might want to look at the Q-Tech Mega Edge if you're kind of dipping into the technology thing.
Oh my gosh.
Because you can like buy toys.
Those were words you said, by the way.
So Q-Tech is a Mega Edge. Not
Cool.
Q-Tip. It's like a Q-Tip, you know.
Okay.
But you can buy like items, like tech items, like quantum tech items.
Okay.
I think Pesto and I are on the same page.
Do you have idea of what you want your character to be able to do, Gilbert? Do you want to just be kind of like that Jason Todd / what was his name? Grendel? Was that the dude with the guns? What was his name? No, that wasn't Grendel. That was
Azrael?
no, not the dude from Wildstorm.
I have no.
Grifter.
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 Yes. It's Jason Todd reminds me of now.
Great outfit. Horrible name. Cool hair.
He did have cool hair.
And he had a trench coat for no reason.
None. It was because he needed pockets.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just quantum has got me a bit confused. I'm not sure what I'm doing with quantum.
Okay, so starting with your basic, the quantum trait determines like how powerful you are overall.
Gotcha.
You can't take any powers that exceed that you don't have the quantum minimum for. You need a quantum high enough to take your mega attributes. If you take mega attributes.
Understood. Copy.
It also provides your quantum point pool. So how many points you have to spend on powers.
Understood.
Now you can get some pretty cool stuff with relatively minimal quantum. But absorption's quantum 2, boost is how many dots you want to boost, so you could have a quantum 1 and take boost.
Gotcha.
A lot of them are quantum minimum 1 or 2, or like dots. So how many dots you have in the power is the quantum minimum.
Understood. Copy that. And this is all purchased through the 150 SP. Copy that.
You also, if you want to get any of the edges that are specific to Aberrant, those start on page 93. I do recommend attunement is nice if you want to not shred your clothes with your powers, or U-fiber.
So
Wait, what about fiber?
there's a edge called U fiber. It's a material that is basically, if you're familiar with Fantastic Four at all, you know what unstable molecules are. It's basically what U fiber is. You can attune it to your own powers so it doesn't hurt it, but you can also like reshape it and make it look how you want to look.
Oh, I thought that was like a character that just has really like a really good digestive system.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
He's one of the regulars.
But there's also things like borrowed resources, call for backup, followers, microgravity training. You know, edges like that you can take that are in that section.
Where's that chart again?
The quantum points chart?
The experience chart, yeah.
That is...
I should really make a note of which page that is because I've been flipping all over this book.
Page 89.
Okay.
Like any sort of niche that I need to fill out amongst the all the rest of these superheroes? Like, is there something you guys would prefer?
I mean, you're doing. I was hoping you were going to lean into the tech thing.
Yeah, I'm totally. I'm still on that. There's like different types of like geniuses I could be, like an inventor, observer, schemer. Wait. Are those? Wait, what? Unless I'm just being completely.
Yeah, there's different packages that are.
Oh, cool. Okay. Which one has the most toys?
That would probably be that's up to you. But if you went like with Builder, you start with like the technologist. Actually, the most toys is if you go with quantum tech, where you spend all 3 of your mega edge dots into the Q-Tech mega edge, like Alex was suggesting. Attune 6 ranks of quantum tech from a couple of weapons. So it's got weapons, force field, or flight device.
Yeah, that one. Whatever that is.
All right, so that could go under your mega edges. So that's just, just take Q-Tech mega edge.
Okay.
Take that up to 3.
Sweet.
And then you can choose, you get any 2 of those that are listed at the bottom. So either a weapon, force field, personal flight device. You can take any 2 of those.
Force field and flight. I should probably read about it first, but
I mean, they are what they sound like.
oh, perfect.
So if you wanted to go with the builder, they've got the mega attributes. You see, so starting at the top, you'll add a +1 dot to a mental attribute of your choice.
+1 dot to mental. Okay.
And then you'll take your quantum up to 3. And if you want to go with the do you want to go with a builder or inventor? Like builder is like literally doing the physical work. Hacker is you taking other people's technology and messing with it. Intellect is just you happen to be really smart, sort of a generalist. Inventor is coming up with the technology. Observer is much more of like a watching people and tracking their movements, trying to outplan others. And schemer is like a criminal mastermind type.
Oh, that's adorable. But I'll stick with builder, I think.
All right. So then you'll put down mega intellect 2, mega cunning 1, and mega resolve 3.
How do we take our jacked up stuff? Is that flux?
No, flux you gain in play. It's you take transformations.
Okay. Where's that stuff at?
Just 1 second.
Sure.
Transformations are covered.
And you can take like negative power tags to make things cheaper too, right?
Right.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so you can take a low-level transformation to reduce a trait's experience cost by 3, or a mid-level transformation to reduce the trait's experience cost by 6. You can't have more total transformations than twice your quantum rating. Make sense?
Yes.
And you can only reduce quantum powers, the ones that have the asterisk next to them in the table. So mega attributes, mega edges, quantum, and quantum powers.
Okay. And where were the transformations?
Transformations start on page 90. And you can take lows or mids. You cannot take high-level transformations as start shirt. Because it's all weird shit. Tentacles?
Let's do it.
What is the transcendence stuff? I'm not sure I understand the transcendence and flux.
So transcendence and flux you acquire in play. I don't think you start with any transcendence. So basically what happens is as you're using your powers, if you max out your power exceeding your normal energy limits, you acquire flux. You can also use rapid recovery to heal quantum points faster and gain flux. Once you get your 4th dot in the quantum trait, and each additional dot in the quantum trait, you gain a point of transcendence. By purchasing a Nova trait. Okay, so when you get the transformation, you also get a dot of transcendence.
Gotcha.
And if your flux reaches 10, you gain a point of transcendence, and your flux drops down to a 0. Make sense?
Yes, and we need points in quantum for the powers, correct?
Yes.
Got it.
So, Pesto, you got everything sorted out in terms of those selections for your archetype?
Yeah, when it comes to, at least the megas. Now I'm like going back to attributes. Now I think I finally figured that out.
So remember, you want to have your attributes have to be at least as high as what your mega attributes are.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that makes it even easier.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that you got all your points spent. Because some of these pre-packages don't spend them all.
Dang nabbit.
This one did, though.
Yay!
So you have no other choices to make besides the ones we've discussed.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Chaz, your power suite, how's it coming? What's your plan?
I figured it out. Just making sure the math works out. So I bought 4 quantum.
Okay.
Then I bought mega strength, mega might, mega dex, and mega presence.
Okay.
And then if I do another 36 experience, I can get rapid strikes, mega crush, and dreadful presence, which drops me down to 30. And how many power tags do I want? I can only afford 2. I can get vampiric and 1 more, and that would still technically work.
So you're putting vampiric tag on what?
I assume that would just be like a melee attack. You can.
Oh, like on your Megamite?
Yeah.
You're sucking people's life force when you hit them.
I mean, if you get hit with the force of a black hole, I assume that hurts.
Yeah, word.
I just suck that essence. Like, yeah, that's the fear that sustains me. I like it.
So I'm glad to see you're playing a bright, shiny, rainbows and.
As they usually do, yeah.
So what did your quantum trait wind up being then?
Quantum trait. Animal character's quantum trait. Oh, I assume that was the extra dots, but did I mess that up?
What's your your quantum trait is, so your mega attributes, you have to have your quantum trait equal to your mega attributes or higher.
Oh, quantum is 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
I figured I could just, if I have a 5, I could just do all kinds of nonsense and not to worry about it.
Sure. You could probably get away with lowering that a little bit and buying some extra shit if you wanted to.
That's what I'm thinking about doing.
Or just go beast mode.
Yeah, why not just go beast mode? Be done with it. But yeah.
Well, I will say this: the quantum 5, if you don't have any mega attributes that are that high, isn't doing you any fit. Like you're not getting much from it. You know what I mean? You're getting extra quantum points, but
with the mega crush, as long as you have like 1 mega might, you could just like say I'm going to do a mega 5 crush.
Oh yes, that's true.
And I'm not saying I will do that. But I like having the option.
I feel like you should on principle.
Right?
And did you take any transformations to improve to reduce the cost of any of your stuff?
I don't need to yet. I'm thinking about it so I can get more power tags.
Don't forget those edges too. Those might come in handy. Having some, like I said, if you don't have attunement, you don't have U-fiber.
Attunement, yeah.
You're gonna be running around naked in a hurry.
Is that the worst thing? Yeah, okay, I gotta do attunement.
Not if you take like a physiological expression makes you look like a Ken doll, then it really doesn't matter.
Right?
I mean, that matters. I don't know about you, but I would shit in your pants if I looked down the street and I saw like a Ken doll, like a person that was just completely smooth. Especially if they're like flying overhead.
Okay, so and a transformation applies to a specific thing, right? Like so when I take it, I have to take it and use it to buy down a thing.
Yes.
Okay. And it's either 3 or 6, is that what you said?
Yep, 3 for a low, 6 for a mid.
Okay.
Do you have a question, Gilbert?
I feel so lost. I feel like I'm dragging you guys down. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. You're fine. That's what we're doing this for.
Trust me, you're fine.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay.
I thought I had a grasp, but now I don't.
Where are you at right now?
I'm nowhere. Travis. I have purchased 3 dots in quantum, and I don't know why at this point.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm gonna sing that High School Musical song. We're all of this together.
What do you have in mind for your powers? Like, what would you like to be able to do?
I don't even know where the powers are, Travis. I've been scrolling up down the PDFs like a madman.
By all means, ask. Quantum powers begin on page 198.
I am so far from that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Aberrant, though. And this is a good way to sort of approach it. You can do literally anything. So it's a matter of how do we skin the power set that you want. So if you want, for example, to have telekinetic control over just your bullets, we can skin that. If you want the ability to command and control the hemoglobin in the blood of others, we can find a way to skin that.
Right on.
And there's probably like 2 or 3 different ways to do it in the Aberrant power set. So it's really a matter of like what kind of thing would you like to be able to pull off, and then working your way backward.
Gotcha. Okay. Now that I know where the powers are, I think I will gather a sense of what I'm doing with my life.
Sure. Does anybody have any objection to taking a 5-minute, I'll still leave it rolling probably, but a 5-minute break, I'm going to step away, handle biological and technological needs.
Yeah, I'm just trying to rip through this so I can help people that need help.
Sure. I'll be back momentarily.
Page 288.
Oh, it's right there in front of me. Goodness, because I'm going back and forth between the core rule book now that I'm like going back and doing attributes. This okay. All right, I'm here. I'm right here. Okay. Allocate 3 dots to your choice. No.
Well, or you can take the quick pick. So for builder, it's fast worker, mind over matter, technologist.
Okay, that's perfect.
I thought I already had all that down.
Yeah, I think so. Wait. Oh, you're back. Oh dear. Hello.
Oh, this one actually tells you to get the Q-Tech Mega Edge.
Yeah, right?
That's what we're talking about, was for the picking the weapon or the force field of the flight thing.
Oh, right.
Oh crap, I lost my math place.
Math is hard.
It really is. I don't care what they say in school.
So did you wind up taking any transformations, Alex?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what you got?
So far, I have Aberrant Eyes, an Anima Aura, Inhuman Beauty, and a Physiological Shift.
What's your physiological shift?
Crystalline Skin.
Okay.
Oh, that's shiny. That's awesome.
I was thinking like Martinex, kind of glittery, glassy.
Okay.
I almost took the vulnerability to blunt force trauma just because it was like thematically appropriate, but I was like, Travis will just punch me and then the game will be over. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm not particularly brittle yet. We'll see what happens.
They call me Mr. Glass.
Yeah, right. But I figured like Inhuman Beauty kind of fit with that because he's very pretty and shiny and sparkly, like a Twilight vampire.
That's fair. So your flux, your transcendence is 4 then.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, every time you take a transformation in character creation, you get a point.
Oh, well, there you go. So yeah, I wasn't sure how that worked. But I guess you just back into it. So
yeah.
I mean, you said you can have up to twice as many as your quantum, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How about you, Chaz? Any transformations?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to.
I mean, I'm still deciding on whether or not I want a couple more. So
Yeah.
What's your quantum at?
3. So I can take 2 more.
You can.
I mean, I'm all in. Like I have my kit picked, so at this point, I'm like backing into spending appropriately.
Yeah.
Like I know what I want, and I'm just trying to make sure that I have enough points for it. So I'm gonna have to sacrifice something, but I have like the hierarchy of stuff that I'm willing to give up.
So does anybody at this point not have U-fiber or attunement?
I do not have those yet.
I do not have U5 or attunement. I don't have any powers that really do anything though.
It's true.
I mean, unless you count like, if I warp and I'm wearing clothes, the clothes don't stay behind, do they?
No.
Okay. Then I'm okay.
That's cool.
So you're starting out with a warp, huh?
Yep.
Well, I know who's responsible for Team Transpo.
I told you he's useful. That's about it. That's about it. And he doesn't go very far.
Yeah, no, I imagine not. What's your warp? 2?
3. Well, my warp is, well, it's. So how does that work anyway? Like, I thought you just buy the power. Like, you have to buy dots in it?
Yeah, you have to buy dots in it. And your rating. So the quantum minimum for warp is dots plus 2. So
Right.
if you have 1 dot in warp,
Or
you
if
have
you
to have a quantum 3.
need quantum 3. Okay.
Do we, at the end of this, do we get to turn in our character sheets and you, like the teacher, go over our homework?
I mean, I would love to have your character sheets when this is done so that I can plan appropriately to beat you up. I mean,
Oh, with my intellect character, it should be so easy to beat up.
well, you know, we got to put you in situations that you will shine in.
I don't have to. That's okay. She's cunning on her feet, so she'll, whatever situation you put her in, she'll shine.
There you go.
I don't even know her name yet. Let's figure that out. Kanye.
Kanye?
It was either that or cayenne. Like cayenne pepper. That freaked me out.
So where do I put the dots for my power? Is it just where it says powers?
Yeah, there's
There's no like section for dots. It just says like name, powers, min, action, cost, pool, range, duration, and tags.
yeah. So just put the rating where it says name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, that's player. Eh. Moment of inspiration. What does that mean? Or am I jumping ahead?
Moment of inspiration is when you became a nova. What was your eruption?
Oh.
And you said for megastats, you have to have your stat equal to or greater than the megastat?
Your stat and the and your quantum.
Right. So if I want like mega stam 3, I have to have quantum 3 and have a stamina of at least 3.
Correct.
Okay. Got it.
Excuse me.
Would a long-term attribute try and figure out what my long-term attribute is?
Oh, your long-term aspiration?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that thing. That attribute. Goodness. Like where she like has so many different paths she wants to go to athletically or geniusly or whatever that she doesn't know what she wants to do
make a decision about like where I want to focus my energy.
Yeah. Not like this is based off of my real life at all or anything.
Absolutely. Totally fine.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
So what's the number after a tag?
That's how many times you can take that tag, I believe.
Okay.
Or no, that's the cost of the tag, I guess. And then if there's multiple options, there's.
So if for a restriction, would you consider, because like based on the nature of the restriction, that determines how like dramatic it is. So if I were to take a power that only works on novas, what would you consider that restriction to be? 1 to 3?
No, -1.
With the mega edges, all 3 of my dots are in the QTech mega edge, right? Or am I using like the quick pick builder stuff?
Yeah, the QTech. No, yeah, they're all in the QTech.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep, and that's where you pick the flight or weapon or force field.
Okay.
Because you get so many points to spend between the QTech, they're already pre-spent for you.
Sweet.
So what all tags did you end up putting on your Megamite, Chaz?
I had to cut back on the Megamite to get some powers, which makes me sad. So I only put the Vampiric on it.
Okay.
But by doing that, I gained density, which I think fits some gravity stuff, and
Sure.
either phasing or quantum attack. Just got to decide on those, and then I'm done with that.
All right. Are we back from the brink of confusion, Gilbert?
Yes, I am on a roll now, I think.
Awesome. What are you looking at powers-wise?
Cloak, Shroud, and then I'm torn between either boost or absorption. I think absorption might help me more.
So just looking at it from the macro level, we have a super genius, a warper who, what else do you have?
I have warp, healing, and some edges.
All right. An absolute powerhouse who's walking around with a black hole in the end of his wrist.
Yeah.
And Cloak from Cloak and Dagger.
Essentially, yes, that was in my head, yeah.
I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to take absorption or boost, but I'm working on my other stuff first.
Right.
Between negative tags and transformations, I think I'm budgeting properly. So.
What negative tags?
So right now, like for healing, I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to take bestow only, or not bestow. what's the one that you can't use it on yourself? Immune? Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work. Well, I guess I can't take that then. But I have ramp up for warp is one of the negatives I have. And I was contemplating taking restricted to novas for healing, but if it's only gonna be -1, then I'm not gonna take it. Because that would only split the targets by like half.
Right.
So undecided on whether or not I keep booster absorption. We'll see. But for edges, right now on the list is adaptation, immunity, prodigy, regeneration, universal translator.
Nice.
Oh, and ranged for healing. That's the positive tag I took. Yeah, that's how that works, right? Because now it's not close anymore. It's like whatever. Too short.
Yeah.
What's the difference between short close? So close is like touch. What's short range?
Short's like 25 meters.
Okay. Like absorption is cool, but I don't know if I care.
I mean, that's fair.
I like it because I feel like it's a really easy way to get quantums to get hit in the face. It's kind of where I was going with that. And it makes it easier to take damage, right? Because you're like absorbing a certain amount of it that you just don't end up taking. Is that how that works?
Exactly how it works.
Subtracts 1 success in the incoming attack, yeah. So trying to figure out how I'm going to survive in general. And I'm feeling like that's probably going to be the way I do it. I think I'm going to scratch boost, though.
Yeah, you have to choose a type of energy, though.
Well, you can take broad, right, at +2.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
And that way it kind of doesn't matter.
Excuse me.
Oh, this is so hard. All right, hold on. I gotta total this all up again now. Fuck.
And Pesto, did you have any questions, or did everything sort of fall into place for you?
I'm going to assume the fall into place option.
All right. What did you decide for your for the Q-Tech you get?
Oh shit! I mean, I know it's the force field and flight. That's the stuff. Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure you write those down. I'd probably record them.
Where should I write those down?
I'd put them down under your quantum powers because it's going to be kind of the same thing.
Cool.
Attunement is it's not a power. It's, what is that under?
That is under Mega Edges, I do believe.
Mega Edge.
No, sorry, it's not under Mega Edges. It's under New Edges and Gifts on page 95 of the PDF.
Copy. Yeah, because I'm assuming Cloak is going to leave me to have to strip down, right? Without attunement. Yeah?
Yeah, if you were going to be like invisible.
And I'm sorry, one more time, what page was that on?
That was 95. Yep.
How much do I? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just
Yeah.
wondering, how much money do I have to bribe you with so that I can have a clone dinosaur?
You just want to have a cloned dinosaur?
I'm just okay. I just like that. That's awesome.
I mean, there's a couple ways to get there.
Correct me if I scrolled. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. That just was cool.
No interruption whatsoever.
The Nova edges for experience cost, are they under, or would they be an enhanced edge or just a regular edge? Like for attunement.
Attunement's just regular edge.
Copy that.
Okay, so you effectively want to copy down those powers because that Q tech that you're using, you have to spend the quantum to be able to use those powers.
Okay, so there's something that's like literally there is something that's called like Q force field, and then just flight, the flight one that I'm just.
Yep.
Okay, cool, got it.
And how high did you take your density, Chess?
Probably just one. I don't remember. Yeah, only just one. I only had enough for one. Is there more that I can do with density? Maybe I should double check.
Oh shit! I think I did it.
Hey, you think you're done?
I think so. Minus, let's see, 6, 3, 6, 9, 12, 18. 6 plus 4, 150. So that's 150 if I go with this.
All right.
I had to drop Mega Int and Universal Translator.
Okay. So what'd you wind up with finally?
So far, Quantum 3, Mega Stam 3, Absorption, Healing, Warp. For powers and for edges, I have Adaptation, Immunity, Regeneration, and then my transformations.
And how many transformations did you wind up with in total?
5.
All right. What was the fifth one?
So I think the physiological shift, if there's physiological shift and epidermal shift. So if one of them is like my crystalline skin, then the other one is more like composite crystalline flesh.
Okay.
So it's like through and through.
Okay.
I still didn't take that fucking vulnerability though. I figure if I do take it, it'll be to like sonic attacks. Like that would
Sure.
make the most sense, right? if I needed to blow up heart, but I came in at 150, so we're good.
Right.
I feel like I'm going to regret missing that mega int, but yeah.
I mean, you do have a mega intelligent Nova with you, so
Yeah, I can doctor pretty hard without it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Travis, question for you.
Answer for you.
So for density, I was under the assumption that I buy density and then I can activate given how many quantum I spend.
Right.
Is it that, or is it that you buy that many density and then you can also spend that much quantum to activate it?
Okay, so what happens is you buy the density at a rating.
Okay.
When you activate it, you can activate it up to that
rating. Okay. And each rating costs an additional 12 experience points.
Right, whatever the new quantum power is, yeah.
Oh.
But that compounds with and adds to your existing Megamight and toughness.
Right.
When you activate it. And that can exceed your quantum limit for those.
Mega average can bypass the normal requirements. Massive something.
Any questions from anyone?
Trying to make sure I don't need mega attributes for any of these.
So, Pesto, are you completely done then with your build?
Yeah.
All right, there's a couple of things that you need to finish filling out, and then we'll be basically good to go. Give me just a moment here.
Nobody will judge me if like I completely forget everything and then I just play this like a.
Only silently.
Oh, okay.
We won't judge you too much in person.
That's the best type of judgment. I appreciate it, everybody.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to give this character sheet to you and then like hear from you the next day. Like, what?
What is your, okay, so what's your stamina? Did you not buy your attributes?
Oh, yes. Oh, I just left it at 1. Okay.
Okay. So you have 3 levels of injury. So you have a maimed, an injured, and a bruised. So if you go to your health levels, you can tick the boxes next to 1 maimed, 1 injured, and 1 bruised.
Yay.
Your stamina is only a 1?
Yep.
So that's how many health levels you have. Your defense is 1, but you can attempt a defensive action when you're being attacked by rolling whichever resilience attribute makes the most sense with no skill added. So if you want to take a punch, it's stamina. If you want to just not panic, it's composure. If you want to just be, resolute and grit through it, that's resolve. Make sense?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay. That's it then. That's your character. So keep in mind when you activate your quantum force field, that can present you with like additional armor.
Okay.
So, and you don't have mega stamina, do you?
No. It's only mega intellect and resolve.
Okay. So, yeah, you have durability scale. 2 soft armor. And what's your quantum? 3?
That's fine. Yeah, just 3.
Right, so it's rating 1 soft armor, complete and environmental. Yep. So yeah, your durability scale is +2 when you have that field on. So that will help immensely with fighting off incoming damage.
Okay.
Because the way scale works, there's basically kind of 2 levers that get pulled. Okay. When you make a roll, there's going to be difficulties. The difficulty to your roll is going to be the number of successes you need to get at target number 7 on 10-sided dice. So you see how you've got dots for all of your ability scores and your skills and all that?
Yeah.
If I tell you to roll aim and cunning, you will pick up a number of 10-sided dice equal to your aim and a number of 10-sided dice equal to your cunning. You will roll those looking for 7s or better. Difficulty means you need more successes. So if I tell you the difficulty is 3, you need 4 successes to actually be successful. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you need 3 successes to be a success, and then anything above that you need to be able to buy stunts to succeed.
Okay.
There's also scale. Scale is sort of like this exponential increase, right? And when you have a lower scale going up against a higher scale, it's a +2 difficulty for each scale jump. So if somebody with a scale 1 gun or scale 0 gun shoots you,
Okay.
they have to get 4 successes to get through your armor,
Okay.
above your armor rating, because it's a higher scale. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if the scale difference is 3 or more, it just bounces off. There's no rules.
Okay.
That applies to all sorts of things. But like, so for example, if Chaz's character has a power scale of, what's your Megamight?
Just 1.
Okay. So that would only be a +2 because he's 1 scale below you. Makes sense?
Yeah. I'm sure it'll slowly become a little bit more familiar as we go.
For sure. All right. So then you still spending, Chaz?
Yeah, no, I'm done. Switched out the mega dexterity because that doesn't seem to be what I do anymore. And I bumped up density to 2 and quantum attack to 2. Now that I know I have to like buy it at that level to get that.
All right. And transformations for you?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Gilbert, how we coming?
I think I'm good. I don't believe I didn't look at the mega attributes until just now, but I don't think the powers or anything that I have require them. I'm not sure if it'll be a benefit for me or not, or if I should.
They're nice to have because they provide scale, if nothing else. But I mean, if you don't think you need it for the power set that you have, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think I'm golden at this point.
All right. So the last thing that we've got is the finishing stuff in your characters. Everybody's defense is 1, and then you can roll a defensive, and take a defensive action to roll a resilience attribute. Your health. Everybody has 3 health levels: 1 maimed, 1 injured, 1 bruised. Who's got stamina 3?
I do.
I do.
All right.
I
so
do as well.
that adds a injured health level. And anybody got stamina 5? All right. Then you're good to go. So you'll all have 2 injured, 1 maimed, and 1 bruised. And then if you have any powers that give you additional health levels, apply them.
Yeah. So I have mega stamina.
That gives you durability scale.
Okay, and I have hardy.
Hardy gives you something. How many dots in hardy do you have?
2.
Okay. So you get a +2 enhancement to resist diseases, intoxicants, poisons, radiation, and you heal wounds and resolve injury conditions twice as fast as normal.
Okay, and that and that is compounded with immunity and regeneration. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, but no extra health levels then.
No extra health levels.
Okay. What about so? You said mega stamina is just for scale.
Yeah, it gives you durability scale.
Okay.
What do you have? A 3?
Mega stamina 3, yeah.
So you're bulletproof.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, so I'll stand behind you the entire time.
So you tick just the boxes down to for your health. You use your stamina. 3 dots of stamina is down to the first injured condition, correct?
No, 3 dots of stamina means you have 1 bruised, 1 maimed, 1 injured. Or no, 1 bruised, 2 injured, 1 maimed.
Gotcha.
I check the ones that I do have because you write the conditions in them. So,
Wait, what? Okay, so warp. Oh, so it has nothing to do with distance.
no,
I can just freaking go. That's amazing.
if you can see it or you're familiar with it.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the dots are just like enhancements.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, this is a serious power. This is crazy talk.
Yeah, you can warp to any celestial body you can see.
Yeah, and I have adaptation, so I can just go somewhere and come back later.
Right, you'd be like, I'm going to Mars.
Oh my God. I accidentally made Dr. Manhattan. I'm sorry, guys.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That was an accident. I didn't mean to.
Only in Aberrant can you say the phrase, I accidentally. Oops.
So just make sure I don't buy Mega Intellect. That's all you have to do. Is just keep me from buying Mega Intellect, and we'll never have to worry about, me contemplating.
No sort
my
of
navel.
like mega cunning where you can see alternate or see multiple time streams at the same time or something. November 18th, 1954. So
What's the blue wing transformation?
I would say that's a mid-level transformation.
Gotcha.
Have a blue ball clacker. So then what's left, I guess, is to figure out things like your names, your code names, your moment of inspiration. How did you erupt? And maybe a little bit, you got a few minutes left, maybe a little bit of discussion of how you all first were brought together.
I haven't quite gotten that far yet. I'm still writing stuff down.
Okay. Any thoughts on what might have brought about your character's eruption, Chaz?
I mean, we've already established that at some point he failed something. You know, maybe if this is a world where like, you know, novas exist, I assume that there are many children who are like, I want to be a nova when I grow up.
Sure, that's pretty common. I mean, the phenomenon of novas is about 10 years old at this point.
Okay, so like it's established, like people know, like people want to be them.
Oh yeah.
And if I'm a little child who's like playing at hero, and it's like, I'm going to go save my friend. You know, we're playing this pretend game, and all of a sudden, oh no, gravity hands come out. You know.
Okay. So you were young when you erupted.
Yeah.
All right. How long ago was this? Are you going to be playing someone who's still a child?
No, I don't think I could do that. Let's say 12 years ago.
Okay, well, it's only been 10 years since the initial...
Right. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go 7.
All right. So you were like 10, 11, 12?
Oh, crap.
So
yeah, well, 12. Yeah, still pretty young, but like...
All right. So you're 12 years old, you're playing superheroes, and was there a grand tragedy when this happened?
You know, yeah. There was a pretty big tragedy. My friend's okay, you know, depending on your definition of okay.
like TBI,
I'll leave the specifics to you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. All right. And so you pretty quickly, this was like 7 years ago, so I assume at that point went to Project Utopia, kind of tried to get into Team Tomorrow, and they were like, yeah, no. But we will train you how to use your powers and help set you up with a day job was kind of probably the approach.
That's good, because at the end of the day, it's not about Team Tomorrow. It's about protecting the people who can't protect themselves or who got hurt because I hurt them.
Fair enough. But shortly after you completed your basic sort of training program and were given the steps to control your power manifestations, you were approached by a recruiter who basically offered you an opportunity to do the good you want to do, to be the hero you want to be. Sometimes you're going to have to do things that maybe feel a little strange or are of questionable legality, but it's always to serve the greater good. And do you want to serve the greater good?
Of course I do.
End of the pitch, right? And that is how you got brought into Team Tonight, which was probably about 5 years ago. And you've been activated on a number of missions, but it's up to you whether or not you've noticed that you're kind of called for the shit jobs and for the stuff like where's this person that has a bigger power profile? Oh, they're on another mission type of shit. Like you kind of are getting the
scraps.
Yeah, a bit.
He'll know us eventually, but not for a few years.
Okay, so this is probably like a relatively new suspicion, not even like a revelation yet.
Just like think about it like one night, like, wait a minute, nah, it's fine. But it's just like sneaking in the back there.
Why'd they call me to fight Dr. Clock? How about you, Gilbert? Still plinking away?
Still mulling some ideas over.
Right, I got an eruption story for you.
All right, let's hear your eruption story, Alex.
So he was acting as a surgical assistant to Dr. Howard when they brought in an emergency patient who wasn't identified as a Nova when they were brought in, under the pretense of like experiencing basically like a chain of seizures. And after determining that the patient's head would essentially have to be opened up, like they're gonna have to perform like neurosurgery, right, to alleviate the pressure. When the doctor opened up the kid's cranium, the room filled with like neurotoxin, which killed pretty much everybody on the staff, with the exception of Diego and Dr. Howard, whom he teleported away with.
Okay.
and then came back to basically complete the surgery, effectively like lobotomizing the nova, like disconnecting the neurotoxin generating node that was like spilling poison into the air.
Quick point. Nodes don't work at all the same way that they did.
I didn't mean like that node. I meant like whatever it is that was in the nova's head that was leaking neurotoxin into the air. Because what it was essentially doing was like the neurotoxin was actually killing the nova, but it was stuck in their head. So it was just killing them. So by opening their cranium, they released the neurotoxin into the air.
Okay. So like a cancerous growth or like a weird gland or something?
Yeah, it was like some sort of transformation that had occurred. That was like slowly killing the nova. They didn't know it was a nova. They thought it was just like a tumor. But it actually caused like a neurotoxin explosion, which killed the medical staff, with the exception of Dr. Howard and Diego, who erupted in the course of surviving and being in a room full of neurotoxin, being able to complete their surgery.
Okay.
So when he came out, he didn't have to breathe anymore, and he's all weird now. But
all right. And so what? How long ago was this?
Probably. Well, probably not too long, but I'm imagining like shortly after that happened, Dr. Howard probably tried to protect him as best he could, but it was kind of hard because it was a relatively public incident. So like he doesn't have, like, I don't have alter ego, I have fame one. Okay. So like it's known who he is and what he did. And so I imagine he doesn't have a whole lot of agency. So like if authorities show up and they're like, hey, we need you to do this thing. So he probably got like randomly recruited and deployed into all sorts of like hostile environments to either act as a medic, and then like determining that he has, a ranged, basically like healing touch. He became like generally useful. They kept trying to basically repurpose him for combat situations, at which point I'm imagining Project Utopia was like, this guy's way too dangerous to have in the field. Ending up in some like mercenary outfit. So they probably, I'm imagining either Sophia or someone came along and was like, performed an extraction essentially, like against the wishes of whoever it was that was running him at the time.
Okay.
And so he was just kind of extracted, and then Project Utopia is acting as both his manager and like he's kind of a ward of their state because he's too dangerous to let out.
Well, chances are good the way that this works because outside of Team Tonight, there's only a handful of people who know that Team Tonight exists. Mm-hmm. So you're probably legally or officially under the watch of Sophia Rousseau, who's a private citizen.
Okay.
Who sometimes consults for Project Utopia. There's a good chance that maybe they, especially if they were using you like in war zones and shit, that you were liberated off of like an elite contract or something along those lines. Like somebody had wound you up, maybe even in a merc outfit.
Probably. I mean, again, like he's not combat capable, but he's exceedingly durable and like able to, work in the most hostile of environments without necessarily caring what's happening. So, yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of Rousseau's pet project.
Well, yeah, and like if we're something as dire as if he were along with a team that got gassed, he could get them out with relative ease. So it's, yeah.
Okay. Do you and how long ago would you say? Like within a year?
Probably not more than a couple of years, like maybe 2 years at worst. Like I imagine he was probably until Project Utopia got a hold of him, he was probably on Rome for a while. Because like the doctor can't protect him, his family can't protect him. They have no resources. They're just like, oh my God, what happened to Diego? He's a freak now. His mother probably thinks that like he's been given a gift from God, but she has no idea how to process it.
Right.
And his dad's just like, it's kind of beyond me. He's very like blue collar, salt of the earth, like Midwestern, yeah, it's kind of outside of his scope. So he's a little alienated.
All right.
He was proud of his medical school son, but now it's, he never quite graduated.
Right. And yeah, crystalline freak is a little bit less, a little bit less pride inducing. That's fair. All right. Gilbert, you got ideas there?
Yeah. So the origin path of military brat, I figured he would probably go on to join the military himself, full of stories from his family, doing the right thing and, being paragons of justice, and then quickly finding out that is not the case, and
Sure.
seeing all the corruption in the world and kind of taking that very hard. Possibly saw some pretty awful stuff and just kind of broke a little bit, where his black and white world kind of just turned into gray.
Okay.
And that's what I've got so far.
All right. So maybe something happened during a deployment that caused the eruption?
Yeah, I could see that. A particular story from a close friend comes to mind, but I'm not sure if I want to use that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Think it over and let me know. We can open up with that next session, like kind of what you want to do with the eruption. Pesto, you got any ideas for a moment of inspiration for the moment that you erupted?
I'm not sure about inspiration. I feel like she just kind of fell into it in a way. So I imagine, well, her name's Rini, and I imagine that she's been kind of plopping around to different career fields. Like she's in college now, but like the two constants that are life that she knows that she enjoys is like tinkering with items and building items, but also like helping people. And so like bouncing around between like, I don't know, volunteering at a vet clinic and like constantly rotating in and out of like different college degrees or going after different college degrees. Like she kind of figured, all right, maybe the best like placement for her is Team of Tomorrow, but she's just not good enough for Team of Tomorrow. So
All right.
because of all of her chaos-inducing personality traits. Like when she was like volunteering like at the vet clinic, like if somebody came in asking for their puppy, she would never, double check the verifications of their ID or anything. She'd be like, yeah, you must be telling the truth. Lost a lot of dogs. Anyway, so I think that's kind of a little klutzy backstory of my character.
Excellent. So you just kind of
fell into it.
grew into like, as you're exploring with like tech and whatnot, you just sort of realized that you were light years kind of ahead of the stuff in the basic classes. And then, but wasn't that advantage wasn't enough to make you like settle on a career path. You're like, yeah, this is great. I'm apparently, super good at this, but I'm also kind of bored, or I'm also restless, or also.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Like, do I want to make this a career and make it feel like a job, or do I want to keep it like something that I love doing, sort of thing? So,
I love it. All right. That brings us just about to our scheduled wrap time. Does anybody have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns before we adjourn until next week?
Yeah, I think you should tell us how the hell we know each other.
hey.
Okay. Why don't we open with that? We'll open next week. We'll talk about Gilbert's character's eruption. We'll talk about how you all have met, like what brought you all together, whether this might be your first mission together. And in the meantime, what I would like you to try to do is come up with your full, government name, but also if you have a Nova name, what that Nova name would be, and a description of your costume.
Oh.
Should you have one.
That's cool.
Does that sound reasonable to everyone?
Yeah.
So,
All right. Cool. Well, that's what we're going to go ahead and call it for session one. We'll jump into the action this time next week. I want to thank all of my players for hanging out. I want to thank everybody that's watching at home for watching at home. And before we leave, just one more time, your pertinence, starting with Chaz. Go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, pronouns, please, where we can find you, all that good stuff.
So once again, I am Chaz, he, him, research video game, music, storytelling, all that fun stuff. You can't find me on the internet yet. I will be there. I have promised Travis I will be there. Technically, I promised Travis 3 years ago, but you know, I still have time to do it.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. I do DM and storytell a lot. I am trying to get back into streaming some storytelling. I have some plans in the future, so I will let you all know when that comes about.
All right, rock and roll. Thank you so much. Alex, pertinence, please.
Yeah, my name is Alex, he, him. I'm a filthy casual who has come along to play awesome games with awesome people. This is my first time actually playing on a video recorded session, so I'm looking forward to further eating on camera and trying not to ASMR people with my chewing. I also have an adorable dog.
As long as you're not like licking microphones and getting us TOS, you're in good shape. Pesto, please give us your pertinence.
Hey, Pesto Mystic. I'm a gamer on Twitch, so you can find me at pesto_mystic. And yeah, that's honestly about it. I'm really excited for this, though. Superheroes, like, what's out there to love? And I'm excited to mess everything up for everybody, so this will be great. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being here, because we need somebody to bring that kind of chaos. And speaking of people bringing that kind of chaos, Gilbert, please give us your pertinence.
Hi, I'm Gilbert Ramos, he, him. Find me on social media, Twitter and Twitch at Ramos the Nomad. I run a vampire game on Sundays, 11:30. I have now fully sank down in my chair. I run a vampire game every Sunday, except for this Sunday, because I'll be traveling. But the following Sunday at 11:30, you can find us with Thy Kindred Come. And we're about halfway through our second season, and things have gotten a bit crazy.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely do check that out. And you have the backlog episodes, I believe, up on your YouTube, correct?
I am still trying to, so balancing financial accounting homework and video editing is a nightmare. So they are in the works. There are a couple of the week through the week stuff. So we try to keep a normal timeline with every Sunday to happening in real time in the game world. So the stuff that happens throughout the weeks we stream over on our channel as well at Rolling Nomads. I should really start pimping that out more. I keep forgetting to do that.
I've never heard you say that.
I know.
Never.
Damn, that's rough. So go follow at Rolling Nomads. And I'm Travis Legge, he, him. When I'm not streaming here, I'm streaming over at Plastic Age Plays on Twitch. I would tell you when I'll be here next, but I'm not entirely sure when this is going to be airing live. So you can find me there. You can find me on anywhere on the internet at Travis Legge, Legge. And yeah, it's a blast. I'm looking forward to getting into some Storypath with y'all, getting into some Aberrant with y'all, running some truly bombastic and disturbing superhero stuff, and going over a few of the system bits that we didn't quite get to dive into, such as like the collateral pool, for example, and how taking risks with your powers risks knocking buildings over by accident and that sort of thing. So I think we'll, I don't think we'll run into too much of that. We only have like a couple of Mega Knights running around. So, yeah, thank you all so much for taking the time, and thank you, the audience at home, for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.